just about everything you would expect as far as the rosters and agent compositions, as far as what we would come to anticipate here showcase Forest Avril.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think typically Sick would actually bring out a breach. That's maybe the only major change up for me is that Sentinels are moving away from the breach now. Sinatraa doing the very typical Sova shenanigans, holding over towards B. We'll be looking for a little bit of info via dapr. They don't see anything into B main, so they know something is up. Must be looking towards A. You've got 3 Sentinels already lined up there.
Seb just checking mid-map. Has not seen the fact that dappr's actually maybe rotated all the way around. Hot hands right at the doors. Shahzam waiting to help out as he gets the delayed peek, but he doesn't actually find a kill. We go 1 for 1, and ANDBOX are actually in a position to where Ye almost is able to start competing for the plant, and now he will. So the long flank from dapr is going to be hard-pressed to get here, and we're going to get a take of the site with not a lot of action, Avril.
It's going to be dapr versus Seb as well. This could be a very important battle because this 1v1 can dictate who has control over the main position. It will be dapr and Sentinels now 1 up available. 3 versus 3, low HP for Boy as well. Has to try and stay alive, tries to try and hold on. Just Android now, and I don't think it's going to happen, Alan. Not enough HP, 3 Sentinels still alive, and the defuse to follow as well.
A lot of patience right there from Sentinels, eh? I mean, you just go 1 for 1 in the take. They essentially allow Ye to get the spike planted, but all that setup for dapr is just hit that flank, come through, pinch things up, and make sure that ANDBOX are quite literally trapped on the site. And boy, were they never even able to exit over through the door as well. So they aren't able to get out to tree. They aren't able to back up over towards wine. You're essentially holding corners and hope that you can win the gunfights, and Sentinels never gave them a chance to. So a good first defense coming through off the pistol. ANDBOX will still get the plant, but they're not going to force anything cheeky here. They'll just mostly stay on classics by the look of it.
And the other thing is dapr wasn't spotted that entire way as well, so they could actually make similar moves this time, assuming that there's not a lot of heavy resistance that Sentinels will meet over towards B. Similar information will try to be found here, because you do see that dapr's going for very much the same kind of play. There'll be 2 players waiting for him, though. I don't know if he's going to check the right corner. Boy is right there. Boy's going to be awarded a free kill and a free gun.
Wow, that's actually huge when it comes to ANDBOX's potential to potentially swing this round over. You still have ANDBOX largely playing passive as Sentinels want to win the middle of the map, and they have. As Sick is able to really establish that by taking down Boy. Seb a little bit trapped out here, making sure they want to try to isolate for this pick, and there it is. Shahzam able to find the elimination, so they will pick that Ares at least back up, or at least they can contest a little bit further. And now the SMGs start to light things up. It's just down to Ye, 34 HP and a Sheriff to play with, and you don't feel great about his chances here.
Yeah, he's got no access to the dropped Ares either. He's about to be surrounded. Sentinel's definitely going to farm these kills. 3rd kill going to Shahzam, by the way, so trying to get that Blaze Storm up and early. He's got about 2 orbs away, 2 ticks away. So, 1 more kill, plus an orb. And that'll be a pretty decent pickup going into this round number 3, where looking over towards the ANDBOX buy, should be full rifles all around. Doesn't look like Ye is going to confirm the full armor, so that's going to be the one thing missing from their equipment. Sick actually has a Phantom as well, so it's going to be 1 big rifle. Ares to get returned to dapr as well. Typically, you actually see the Ares go on Sinatra's Sova here, so that's maybe a little bit different. Although, that being said, putting your Ares on the other place so they can spam after recon goes through is equally as good.
Yep. So now it's going to be on to see if ANDBOX can find some success with their slightly more powerful weapons. Shahzam trying to hold mid-map will actually be forfeiting it as he needs to back up, play his life, and that will lead to an opportunity for ANDBOX to actually take mid-map. Sick has shut the door in the rotation to market, and Shahzam is still contesting this. Curveball comes out, flashing away, not going to be able to get the tailwind for Shahzam. Android looking for a second, will be zoned backwards, but he's going to have a little bit of help. The pinch is trying to get there, but it's not going to be successful. But Sick able to find himself 2 kills, solely holding onto the B site. Not good for the 3rd. And ANDBOX will find themselves a 3v1, and the last rotator of Zombs is all the way out by EA, and he's likely going to get contested right through mid. Wins the first battle. Second one's still winnable as well, but Seb just tapping, able to lock down the headshot, and ANDBOX get on the board.
Good original read by Zombs to check over towards market as well, over towards Peter. Likely there was going to be a player there waiting for him. Gets 1 kill, but it's not going to be enough. So the 1 rifle coming through from Sick, paying a couple of dividends, did get 2 kills. Obviously, Sinatraa was the one swinging over towards B. So that's the only player that revealed themselves in terms of who was actually holding B. Gets killed. They had no idea. ANDBOX had no idea that Sick was also around the corner. That was obviously the buy round coming through from ANDBOX. So without losses, they did lose 3 people that round. Talked about Shahzam maybe looking towards the Blade Storm, who'll be 1 away now. Has managed to save up for an operator. That's going to be the key equipment going towards this round, but no one walking to his line of sight early on.
Sentinels do have 3 members that are stacked pretty darn close towards tree. And as the shock dart comes out, looks like Sentinels are now feeling a little bit more favorable as far as trying to aggressively challenge through that angle. But for ANDBOX, they have a run it back available. Will they try to use this as a bridge of entry after this Aldrone finds some information? shahzam might be able to just single-handedly shut down any approach towards B with that shot to come through. Finds himself a second. The curveball's there, but the cyber cage is actually just as good. And oh, dapr stayed alive, at least for a time. Android will find the kill, but meanwhile, off screen, Sick has traded things back around, and we still have Sentinels with a 3v2. Make it now a 3v1, leaving things just down to Seb, and he's at the wrong side away from the spike.
Super important that Sentinels did have 2 flankers coming over towards tree. You noted at the start of the round, they started 3 people at A. 2 of them played towards tree. That's going to be zombs. That's going to be Sick as well. Running back was used to push over towards pizza. Sentinels currently don't know where Seb is. Seb is completely unknown, but they do know Seb has to come for the spike eventually. Less than 30 seconds. Now, Seb would have to win the first 1v1, try and outplay Sick by maneuvering, and then get this plant down in time. And I don't know that he's going to be able to even find this first kill, because Zombs is around the corner, and it's about 15 seconds left. I don't think he can even plant.
Well, the timing is pretty good, though. He does find the first kill. The second one around the corner.
Oh my God.
Seb is able to clutch up. Sentinels, they knew the spike was down. They were just trying to play cross angles, but the problem was they were looking opposite directions at the exact wrong moment. Or I guess the exact right moment if you're an ANDBOX fan. And that's a run it back that was also spent there for Sentinels. So ANDBOX literally steal away their second round at the last second, and they still hold on to their own run it back. So a bit of an ultimate advantage, and you take a look at the economy here, Avril, Sentinels are in a little bit of trouble.
This is what I'm saying as well about Seb being completely unknown. He was walking through B, he went out B main as well, came back through mid. At that point in time, if you're Sentinels, you actually have no idea where he's going to come from. So you got people looking the wrong way, and that's kind of the symptom of the issue being displayed, and the operator being picked up by shahzam. I mean, that's gone now. You talk about economy, it's in shambles for Sentinels for this particular round. We're not that deep into the half either. It's just currently, you know, the 2 and 2 being found. A few stingers alive for Sentinels. shahzam obviously will have the blaze storm available. So let's see if he can find any value there. Dropping some guns for his team would be very helpful.
And in the past, why have Sentinels been as good as they are? They're great in rounds like this, and as you mentioned, shahzam able to get the updraft for 1 kill deep. That was the back corner by the catwalk to A. Android still wants to try to attempt to push through this. His teammates behind him, shahzam! Wow. What in the world? I mean, that's barely a pixel that he's able to see. So Android's gonna force him to run it back. He gets tagged by a spy camp, dealt with by zombs, who finds another kill. And now it's just down to 2. dapr? What in the world? He just runs around like he's playing Call of Duty there for a second with a pistol, finds the kill, and those rounds right there are why Sentinels are so hard to beat at times. They had no business winning that round, and shahzam single-handedly turns things around. The rest of his teammates pick up where he left off, and they take a thrifty up 3-2.
I mean, it's bad enough that you lose 2 straight at the top. I mean, shahzam just updrafting, getting a double pick, and then what's going on after that? Zombs with the 20 bullets and the stinger will find the ability to shut down the runner back from Android, and then on top of that, convert a kill as well. That's difficult to do on a stinger that doesn't have a lot of ammo, that wastes all the ammo very quickly. Then somehow, some way, just on a frenzy, dapr gets the headshot required to get down Yay, and no spike plan available. Coming to this round, though, blaze storm being activated on the opposite side of things. This will be Yay, and the equipment value has completely shifted over. Free guns being delivered over to the side of Sentinels, and they are making it work. That being said, though, dapr kind of gives us a life away for free, and that's going to be a gun that can be picked up by ANDBOX now.
Trying to play aggressive, they nearly get rewarded with 3 kills, but only walk away with 1. ANDBOX still not in a great position because there are still contestants nearby, one of them being Sick. So there's a second kill on the board. Now ANDBOX in a 3v4, and one of their big playmakers of Boy, at least that's who you're looking to be a big playmaker, he's actually tagged down to about half HP. So the situation, no matter which way you slice the loaf of bread here, doesn't get much better.
Flank coming. Look at this position. shahzam actually might have a timing here. shahzam might be able to swing around the corner, see everyone over towards mid, and confirm a kill. Zombs will be able to tell them that as well, as they know it's going to be market. It's coming down to sinatraa, dodges the paranoia, or rather the paranoia will just miss. And now sinatraa surely gets a couple, down to just 2 members. Now, like you said, having very low HP for Boy is not going to help out the situation at all.
This is just down to Android, nowhere for him to go, and you actually kind of caught from Sinatra's POV there. Not only does he kind of elude the first paranoia, but you also saw Zom's friendly paranoia come out right down that back staircase, and I believe it connected onto 2, making life just a little bit easier, but man, absolutely unreal. 4-2 up. Avril, what is it? Every time we watch this Sentinels team, they find themselves down early and we start sitting here and saying, okay, this is why Sentinels is losing games. But then they come out with these magical thrifties and they totally turn the tides around. So ANDBOX will purchase into this round, and actually, how about Ye pulling out the operator with light armor?
Gotta tell you, I mean, if Sentinels win more thrifties like that, that's just evidence of Sentinels losing to Luminosity, Sentinels getting angry, and now that's the Sentinels that, unfortunately, ANDBOX have to face up against. It's only been 6 rounds so far, so riding nothing home. 3 ults for the side of ANDBOX, 2 on the side of Sentinels. Sinatra's not that far off either. 1 orb would confirm it, but I don't think he's going to push for it. It's the operator, like you said, coming through from Ye, but somebody actually has to peek him. Somebody from Sentinels has to get aggressive. Now, they have been previously. dappr's pushed up a couple of times, but he's also been punished a couple of times, so he'll be playing super safe now. And no one from Sentinels is going to walk into the sightlines of Ye at all.
Boys able to find Sick, completely isolated. That'll be the neural theft pretty early on in this round. Again, the spike is actually still on the ground, so even with this information, this is not going to lead to an execute. This is just going to lead to a rotation, and that's exactly what you're getting. They're able to read 2 players over towards A treat. They love their setup as far as what they're looking at over towards B for some reason. I mean, Sinatra's still here with a recon dart. He has used both of his shock darts, but dappr's still in a position to try to play close to this plays wall. shahzam's good for 1. He's able to help out from the middle of the map. Backing up is Sinatra. He finds another. And even though Boyd's on the site, can they really do too much? And it looks like, yes, they will be able to get onto this site and probably play for a plant for this 2v2.
Big recon coming through from Sinatra will reveal the fact that ANDBOX are pushing through B main, but it's going to be from the shadows coming through from Boy that kills Sinatra, and you see the opposite from the shadows from Zombs. A little too late to help because Boy's already taken up the position at the back of site. He stops Zombs from getting the TP. With the plant in a 2v2, Ye has B main control, but with only an operator, he needs to find the right timing. It's going to come down mostly to Boy, and while neither of them are going to get much done here, Zombs and shahzam for 1 each. Free operator on the floor as well. Free defuse, 1 extra ult point towards the Blaze Storm, and Sentinels will pick up 5.
shahzam just says thank you very much, as I'm sure he swoops that up off the ground. Sure has. So now 5-2 for Sentinels. ANDBOX's economy has been crippled to a point where they won't be able to force buy, or pretty be full buy here. And only at round 7, you really don't feel like they're going to force either. So it will just be pistol upgrades with maybe a little bit of armor to help sustain the play. But there really aren't any ultimates available either here. So there might be a world where if Sentinels realize what they're looking at, not only economically, but the fact that they could potentially also play to control these ultimate orbs, this could be another big moment for them to really kind of, again, snowball their current financial position.
All right, so mid-map is going to be quite dangerous once more. This is where the operator is in the hands of shahzam. Oof, nearly had the timing there to get a couple of kills, or just the 1 maybe. Let's get spotted. Let's get track darted as well. So it's going to be 4 up mid for the side of ANDBOX. They have the Hunter's Fury, which they won't use unless they have a really good chance of winning this round. They're just trying to execute through market. It's going to be dapr for a nasty couple of frags, but once more, dapr drops the gun, so it is going to give ANDBOX a bit of opportunity.
Yeah, dapr really doesn't even confirm that much damage by the look of it either. So now ANDBOX actually have an opportunity. Jumping around the corner, poach for 1, but Sick on the flank. They've completely trapped the last couple of players. It's just down to Ye. And they're going to use the run it back here. They do not want Ye to get out of this position. They really want to get this operator back into hand, and this timing could be everything. Okay, opportunity here. Ye has gotten away from the run it back, and he has now reset things to a 1v1 with the spike in hand. This is very winnable.
Absolutely. I mean, they pick up guns. Ye gets his operator back, the one that he originally bought, off the hands of shahzam. 20 HP, and Sick has already used the run it back. Like you said, so ultimates have been confirmed by Sentinels for this round. It was Zombs running at Ye with a knife out. I mean, the guy has completely no idea where Ye could be, and this is a very similar situation that we saw in an earlier round where, I mean, who was it? Seb was kind of outplaying both Sick and Zombs alive, and now the same thing could be happening. Yep, they're just not looking the right way. So 2 players now caught with their pants down, and it seems like exactly what we saw. Was it round 4, Alan? I believe it was Seb versus both Zombs and Sick, and it's like the same situation. Both Sick and Zombs just looking the complete wrong way, and they both get picked.
That is a huge round for not just Ye, but ANDBOX at large. You get the run it back out. We've mentioned that. You're able to steal away the operator. And while you've done that, Ye has enough of an economy to help buy for some people. Maybe not this round, but definitely in one's future. I mean, talk about, again, how the turns tables here, essentially. We've got ourselves a 3-5 situation. Sentinels, of course, can still full purchase, but this is going to be an early play for Poach with the Hunter's Fury, and he's not going to find anything with it. Sinatra's going to try to counter, and he will do so beautifully. So a 5v4 situation early for Sentinels.
Knows the exact location as well. Sinatraa, beautiful counter intelligence, beautiful counterplay using the Hunter's Fury. You're going to try and Hunter's Fury my teammate. I'll get you down first. And that's going to give them the 5v4. And I got to say, look, Sentinels losing a couple of those critical rounds where, you know, they're dropping guns early. A lot of this does come down to somebody trying to maybe make too aggressive a play, dropping a gun. It's not going to happen this time. shahzam even nice, finds a nice angle, take down Ye. Confirming a 5v3 now for ANDBOX. This is where it gets a little bit more tricky. They still have runner back available, though, so execute onto A still possible.
I'm looking to see if maybe they can find an opportunity to use this run it back, get some value with it, try to turn these numbers around. dapr playing right on the other side of this moment smoke just through mid. Here comes Sinatraa. dapr, they combine for 2. Android, good for a first, and he's done incredible things in the past. I wouldn't necessarily put it past him, but a very difficult situation, and even beyond that, time was ticking away. So, Sentinels will find themselves 6-3 through 9 rounds. Going in round number 10, though, again, the question mark here for ANDBOX is, do you use this extra economy at all from Ye to try to purchase? And the answer is going to be no, simply because he does have a Bladestorm, so we will probably get a full save here for ANDBOX.
Bladestorm will be in effect pretty much like a hero rifle here. They don't need to go for another hero rifle. I mean, they could, but that's taking a bit of a risk with their economy. Still 3 rounds left to play here. Likely we go 7-3 in terms of favoring Sentinels, but the last 2 rounds after that could still go the way of ANDBOX for a 7-5 finish, which will be the hope for ANDBOX now. Bladestorm has been committed. shahzam on the angle, pushed off now via the tracking dart. shahzam, by the way, did get a kill last time with the operator. Missed 2 shots, so that could have been even deadlier in terms of favoring Sentinels. Let's see if ANDBOX can maybe work their way around this operator, as 3 of them did get spotted by recon in mid.
That recon massive. shahzam able to move on over, lock down the middle, and really just force ANDBOX the full stack. Here they come, right through garage. Ultimate orb. Will it be picked up here is the real question. Sinatraa in a position to try to spam some players down. One has gotten through. dapr in a little bit of trouble. Actually gets taken down by Ye, but shahzam responds, essentially giving him the favor right back. Sinatraa in a really troubling position also drops as the numbers just overwhelm. So a 4v3, ANDBOX on the site, and they will get a plant. It just comes down to, for Sentinels, how can you retake this? You still have zombs who's lingering mid-map. Do you trust that the operator can find value? Do you just go right for the Bloodstorm push-through? That's the real question. Boy who's picked up the Odin. Opportunity to spam on either angles, and it looks like he's going to be trusted to watch outside while the rest of his teammates watch toward the inner. shahzam, 1 knife left, able to find a reset with it. Now down to 3. Knows there's a player back sight. Boy's found a kill. There's the play! shahzam, he finds himself a 3rd. Zombs for a 1v2. Knows there's a player in arches, but where is the last? That's the real question. And Zombs takes the peek. Boy reveals his location, and a thrifty round comes through for ABX.
And unfortunately, they just catch dapr out over towards stairs. I mean, you see the flash coming through via Boy using the paranoia, so dapr can't respond at all. You see Sinatraa trying to hide on site itself. Couldn't quite hold the lane. 3 of them just drops directly on top of him. Maybe it was even 4 players. And he drops the Odin, so it's 2 guns being given the way of ANDBOX. They fight their way on to B. shahzam does take one back via the operator through from, I guess, defensive spawn, that alleyway. But other than that, I mean, great shots from shahzam using the Bladestorm. You see that flick of the wrist when he comes through, dashes past the whole team, still connects onto somebody at Dragon, but it's not going to be enough. ANDBOX have the site control. They still had a runner back if they really wanted to use it. They'll be able to use it this round. So ANDBOX actually don't even give that 7th round away. We're talking about the fact that maybe Sentinels were going to get 7. It was going to be a 7-5 finish that ANDBOX were hoping for. ANDBOX can now potentially tie up 6-6.
Pretty even spread from both sides as they come into this very crucial 11th round. Still holding on, I think, to that run it back. That's where I think a lot of our focus needs to turn to. Android is going to be working with Seb initially towards A. Curveball in the hand. Do they use this to maybe try to bait that there's going to be an A hit? That's the real question. Double curveballs will come through, some sound triggers, and yeah, they are going to use this as a little bit of a bait, but will this actually fool Sentinels? Because they still have a pretty solid setup, and not only have they dealt with the first instance of the Phoenix, they've also tagged up Seb pretty heavily, so ANDBOX have not really successfully pulled off this fake. Ye will get a kill on the Sick, but he confirms a ton of damage, and sinatraa will make good on it for one, just spamming through the cloudburst, and now we've got ourselves a 4v4 with the bomb being planted.
Left.
First responder sinatraa barely gets there in time to spam through the smoke as well. He was the first one to rotate after he realized it was most likely a fake. Good job by ANDBOX to sell the fake, by the way, because use the ultimate. 2 players go in and out of the cage, so the cage actually helps sell the fake because it sounds like multiple players may be entering. But as we get into the full retake now, Ye can't connect the shot into shahzam, so big opportunity for Sentinels. A lot of kills coming through. Android for 3. How's he found these angles? How's he found these shots? Straight onto the lane. 1 player live now, and it will be 4 confirmed. Android has fragged everyone. They have faked over towards A successfully. Android was in the middle of that one. He goes to B, and he'll get the 4K to finish up to allow ANDBOX to get themselves and this team 5 rounds.
That was the nastiest display of flick headshots I have ever seen on this game. I'm talking Twitter clips, Reddit, tournaments. Doesn't make a difference. That was inhuman. Absolutely the most incredible thing I've ever seen on this game. Oh my goodness.
That's one way to win a round. That's one way to save a post plant as well. I mean, Jesus. ANDBOX, they get to B and they just hold it down. They lose somebody early via sinatraa. They fake semi-successfully over towards A. Oh boy, I think the 6 and 6 is more than possible now. We'll have to see how the rest of the round goes. Sentinels, like to say, they do step it up in dire times, and this is definitely going to be a dire time. They've only got the Stingers, the Spectres available. Oh my goodness, dapr had to get that first kill, and he can't.
Yeah, 2 kills for ANDBOX, looking pretty solid as they do cleanly take the B site. Trying to contest. Gonna get the jet of shahzam nearby. Curveballs for Sick. They will successfully retake the boathouse, and actually, nobody from ANDBOX is playing B main. They're all stacked on top of the site. So chaos is about to unfold. Can Sick find value on the way forward is the real question. Yay,
no.
Opportunity. Misses just a touch wide. So now it's just down to how do you get back into this? Paranoia comes out. Oh, beautiful sense of information coming off the recon bolt. Yay, good for 1. Zombs on the way in. Finds absolutely nothing. And we will tie up the half 6-6. Do not go anywhere. We still have a lot more to decide. 6 tie through the first Avril, and a lot of crucial just pick up rounds. Thrifties back and forth, a couple of unexpected rounds and a couple of unexpected plays have led us to this point.
You got to say as well, I mean, look, ANDBOX gave away certain opportunities where they were ahead. You did see that Sentinels did win a thrifty, but the other side is so true as well. Sentinels giving away rounds, and straight into the action here. We're already on towards A. It's frenzies abound here, and first blood being found by Ye.
2-for-1 exchange. shahzam still alive underneath the top of the catwalk. And good help from sinatraa to make sure that the pinch doesn't come through. So now it just has to come up from off top, and it will. Okay, so frenzy's abound. Yeah, I mean, goodness. Absolute blender worth of automatic pistols there. But the big question in my mind, coming back to this second half is the fact that Sentinels so far, through their open quals run, only won 33% of their rounds. And that was versus teams like Techno Monks and Serenity, built by gamers. And you cannot afford to do that versus a team like ANDBOX.
I mean, the Sentinels at the moment, I feel like it's the rounds they gave away, which were really critical in terms of dropping guns. dapr kind of maybe pushing up. Yeah, he'll get 1 kill, but dropping a gun towards a team that really needs it. Some of those thrifties that ANDBOX were able to win, really critical to allow them to get even a 6-6 scoreline. I thought it was going to be maybe 7-5. Could have even been 8-4 for Sentinels if it was a little bit cleaner. This is going to be now ANDBOX looking to clean up a couple of kills here, exchanging too much damage here, and I think Seb and the rest of ANDBOX might need to just respect that Sentinels are going to get aggro and possibly take away some SMGs if some mistakes are made.
Yeah, they will kind of fall back and make sure they hold their lives. And just another little, okay, right-click peek. I was about to say, sinatraa seems like he wants to give this another go, and he gets rewarded for it, but Seb will immediately respond, and now he has to play essentially gatekeeper here. Shoulder peek, no problem. Seb finds the kill, and then Boy off screen is able to take down 2. Last player is shahzam. He will be paranoid, as Boy will fall back and then shut the door quite literally on this play, giving him just 48 seconds to try to diversify how he wants to play the round. Step from behind, not going to finish the kill. but takes shahzam down to 65 HP. Tailwinding after him, wants to chase and gets rewarded for it. Now 1v2.
That's the 50 HP player down. 1v1 over towards spawn. There it is. Shahzam still gets that one as well. It's a 1v1 now. Low HP, so sudden death. Basically, a bullet or two will do it. Not a lot of util left either. Boy has one smoke. 30 seconds until he finds another one. Won't even have 30 seconds to wait here. It could actually come down to Shahzam for a massive clutch. Could it happen again? Here we go. Sentinels in position. Look, I mean, Shahzam is completely unknown. ANDBOX have to think really hard about this one because Boy has to do a lot of searching.
Well, he has cleared off the staircase. No information at all up top towards this back alley, though. And now, all of a sudden, Boy is on site. He's cleared the archway, and there's really only one place that Shahzam could possibly be. He's going to try to stick for a halfway defuse. Shahzam trying to maybe come on in, and no! Boy gets the weapon up literally just in the nick of time and survives with 7 HP. Boy finds 3 kills and makes sure that Sentinels can't miraculously pull off a 1v3.
Man, what Shahzam doesn't know there was that Boy was on like 39 HP or 30-something HP. Just a couple of stray bullets spamming in the smoke would have done it. So I said, look, I mean, Boy's only got one smoke. Turns out that one smoke is all he needs. Just smoke the spike itself, start defusing, get at least halfway. And a good read by Boy as well to know that it was going to be Shahzam coming down the stairs. I think Shahzam made a bit of noise as well, so Boy was at least given that information over. And it ends up in the 1v1. ANDBOX is going to take it away, so that's going to be pistol plus anti-eco. And now, 2 ahead. ANDBOX looking to complete this upset by getting this round. I mean, this round would be huge, and they could do it. They got 2 bulldogs, 2 vandals.
I thought for a second that maybe Shahzam was going to consider pulling out the Bladestorm after he got that second kill, because one knife would have done the trick. But obviously low HP, trusted his SMG gameplay, not going to come through. So now for ANDBOX defensively, Poach is going to see a lot of information that there are players through the middle of the map, and now the question is, how do you rotate this defense, if at all, if you're ABX?
Poach looks like he might be giving up positioning over towards tree as well, so A is going to be pretty bare. They're gambling pretty hard towards B. You typically don't see 3 players stacking that hard on B, especially not defensively, just on site itself. Relying on cameras, relying on the trap wire. It's going to come down to Boy for information. Spike being found, and now look, all 3 members from B have to quickly get over towards A.
Sinatraa does get a trade. The defensive rotation, as you mentioned, is going to be here pretty darn late.
Oh,
so just
flash.
holding their life is Poach. Curveball won't really do too much besides, like you mentioned, flash Android. But there is nobody there to be receiving it anyways. So Spike gets down. And there's going to be an exit here for Sentinels to play for a Hunter's Fury through long A, which is what it seems like they want to do. There is no flank coming through. ANDBOX is just solo stacking all of their members defensively from the side door. So it's going to have to be a quick and clean retake, and here it comes. Cloudburst comes through, Hot Hands also there. Shahzam will see one cross. dapr able to find a couple, and just for good measure, the Hunter's Fury will be pulled, but not needed as Sentinels clean up the hit, no problem to get him on 7.
Yeah, they don't even lose anybody there. All 4 players still alive. And they were given, you know, a lot of opportunity. I say they, I'm talking about ANDBOX here in terms of they got the spike down early. They confirmed such early information, which means all 3 players stacking over towards B. And even Poach was running away from A. They got to come back about as fast as possible. That's about as early warning as you're going to get. So they actually got back to site pretty quickly. It just comes down to executing back onto the site. Android was already down 1 flash. Can't remember if he had a flash remaining or not, but the recon from Poach isn't going to be able to do enough either. They're walking the death trap being set up by Sentinels, who will be able to manage to get that 1 round back. And looking over towards equipment as well. Not looking great for ANDBOX. A couple of buckies here. Early aggression being shown by Android. They're going to be met with counter-aggression as dapr picks up 2.
And T. I mean, really not much else you could say about that. Poach down to 9 HP as well, has to back away. The neural theft having been used. Sentinels recognizing that the B site is, in fact, wide open. So they'll start to get the spike to go that direction. And the last 2 members defensively for ANDBOX will have to decide what exactly do they even want to try to do here in this 2v5.
Isolate the kill somewhere, but that's going to be difficult to do. Sentinels are grouping together pretty hard. Note that the spike hasn't even been planted, so it will be, you know, a delayed spike plant as Sentinels get themselves into very aggressive positioning all over the map. And not a lot of great places for ANDBOX to go here. They're probably going to have to go down mid. They'll maybe attempt to go towards their own spawn. Sinatraa will be there waiting. dapr checking mid. You got Sig playing over towards A lobby. So for ANDBOX, if they're going to try anything, it'll be Sinatraa probably that just sprays them down.
Well, Ye will respond to one. He's been known to do some pretty incredible things with the Sheriff in the past, but it would have to be miracle-worthy in that round without question. So he won't really be able to come away with too much besides just a single kill. And now we take a look as far as what's going to happen next. And ANDBOX is still not terribly comfortable with their economy. You've got two members that are nearly zeroed out, and the third who's actually not even able to fully afford full armor. So this is still an opportunity here for Sentinels to retake their lead, but on the other side, we have a number of ultimates that could come into play for ANDBOX, one of which being that potential Blade Storm.
One away from the runner back on Android as well, but he's not going to be prioritizing an orb early. You can see he's starting over towards tree. It'll be the Sentinels that will have to get this orb instead. Have a lot of players over towards A main. dapr just checking for any potential pushes coming through from B or anything happening in mid. And well, actually, you can see there's a ton of members in mid right now. It's actually going to come down to potentially Android with this massive flank. Look at him go.
He's getting a little bit of cold feet, wanted to make sure that he commits at the exact right time. And there is somebody watching. It's going to be dapr. Ye has pulled out the Blade Storm, finds first blood. Zombs shut down on that play. Now you've got the defensive rotation from the shadows also coming out from Boy. Will they allow this spike to be planted? Yes, they will, but it is being barraged by shock darts. And now the full flank from Android is on the way. Run it back is going to be used, but this is actually from Sentinel's POV, and they do read Android in the back. So now he's a bit stuck, and you have to hope that teammates from ANDBOX from the front can find kills, but they're just simply not. Sam Sinatraa find a couple. Ye up top good for one, but this 3v3 is running out of time to make plays happen. Sick down low will also make sure that Seb can't get onto point. Ye with 3 kills, but the time is ticking. You've got to find a way to find this last kill, and is enough time going to be there for the defuse? Looks like yes, and Ye has gotten the full ice. Unbelievable. The ice ace. That's really what I meant to be saying. Good grief.
Cold as ice there. Cold-blooded kill it. Ice in the veins, I think is what you're referring to for the ACF. 5 kills. Blade Storm. And unfortunately, look, yeah, Android couldn't quite make the flank work. If they had the flank going their way, that would have been an easier defuse, a much easier retake, having A main control. Even from the position that ANDBOX were having. Just incredible plays from Ye. 18 for 12 now. That was a round that was looking pretty dire. That was looking like a very good round for Sentinels, but just as Sentinels start to maybe get away, just they get the spike planted down, ANDBOX bring that one back. They not quite looking healthy in economy, so ANDBOX, despite winning, still have 3 SMGs walking in. And if there's any sort of early moves coming through from ANDBOX, how are they going to set up for these SMGs? Ye actually manages to find a kill over towards mid.
Just an aggressive peek over by the tree. My goodness. Ye has single-handedly been able to save so many rounds for ANDBOX. One of the main reasons why they're in this 9-8 advantage. Now Sentinels have to consider what they want to do. The recon bolt will try to scout out the front side. Seb is caught literally in a corner. Shock dart will come through, tags him up pretty heavily, but as he tries to make his move away, Sick takes place as he will find the elimination. Android wanting the retake will come through immediately. With the run it back, and he's good for 1, but Sentinels, they've hit the brakes dramatically. Android, maybe for a second, an opportunity to try to spam through the walls, but not going to happen here as Sentinels reset.
Massive respect being given to the runner back, and by the way, Android kind of scuffed his flash again, but still manages to find a kill regardless. 35 seconds now, roughly. Sentinels going back towards B. They've kind of fooled ANDBOX at this stage, and well, I mean, the jig is up. Recon's going to reveal, boys. Spike has been revealed on the site itself, and a couple more trays being made across the map.
dapr had an opportunity for 2, and I think he would have loved to have had it. Gonna take a peek now onto Ye, though, able to find the elimination, leaving things to a 1v1. Sinatraa v Poach, and Poach only has a stinger. Sinatraa over the boxes, finds the headshot, and Sentinels in a 3v4. They find a way to snap back and tie things up at 9.
I mean, good patience being shown there as well. It looked like they completely backed out of B. They completely fooled ANDBOX, because ANDBOX at that stage as well, they left Boy alone on B. They're saying, I don't hear anything. After the runner back got confirmed, that sounds like they could have rotated out. They're probably going over towards mid or A. So they completely empty the B site. Sentinels find that opportunity to re-aggress, and turns out to be a pretty shining success. And remind ourselves as well, ANDBOX didn't have a lot of money walking into that round. They had 3 SMGs, and now they have even less than that. Marshall being brought to bear via Android. Looking over towards top mid. No one's going to peek him. It's going to be Sentinel splitting across both A main and B main.
ANDBOX is playing something a little bit different here. They're a heavy amount of consideration through the middle of the map. 2 players were forward by the archway, 2 more over by tree. They don't really see too much of anything, so they will back up and set up something more a little bit more orthodox up. And now you're in a position to where it's going to be down to what Sentinels want to do. Again, they do have a Hunter's Fury, and we know how good Sinatraa has been with this on attacks before. It just comes down to the question, will they use it for entry or will they use it for a post-plant lockdown? That's the real only consideration they have to decide between.
Look at this discipline from Sentinels as well. Nobody crossed into Poach's line of sight here. Poach, I mean, whether he, Android rather, with the Marshal, whether he gets a kill or not is almost redundant. The fact is he would have had information, but they know nothing about what happened in mid. They are going to be able to read that it should be something over towards A, and B went quiet. The camera sees nothing over towards B. Here comes the paranoia and the hit.
The flash was decent, but the shots just weren't able to lock things down. Ye is able to find 2 kills from the back. Not going to get a third, so the hopes of this defense lasting on the backside of pistol upgrades has pretty much been eliminated unless Seb can do something incredible. Okay, there's one, but the door will shut, so you will not have an opportunity to collect that weapon. As he goes up top, dapr will meet him, and Sentinels will be on 10.
Some decent damage done here. 3 players of Sentinels down. Just keeping them honest for now. ANDBOX haven't had a lot to work with for a few rounds in a row now, so they really need to be able to at least build up their economy again. They get that loss bonus back into play. You start to see with ANDBOX as well. They win 1 round, they lose 2. They win 1 round, they lose 2 again. They need to kind of break that streak. I mean, they can win this particular round. They would go 10-10, but if they didn't just drop another round, they reset their economy, and they're constantly on bad buys. So that's been the biggest issue for ANDBOX so far, at least as economy is concerned. Poach just for an extra bit of spam, but that's not where Sentinels is going to be this round. It's a lot of players over towards A.
Sinatraa off his recon bolt, wants to try to confirm with the Hunter's Fury, and my goodness, the second shot was completely blind. Tags up Seb, fortunately, I would say, and then is able to find the third. So Bless RNG comes out into play there, and now Sentinels find themselves in a 5v4, looking to potentially make the execute over to A.
I think ANDBOX know this as well. They have some eyes on towards mid. I mean, everything is quiet over towards B as well. A little bit concerned they're going to be fooled in terms of being faked out over towards A. I mean, it's been a Hunter's Fury being given over. They might have heard the flash as well. They've seen the drone. So at this point, you've got to know it's run it back.
Dapr's found 1 kill mid-map. The run it back does get shut down, and Sentinels were just using that to scout things out. They did not fully commit to the backside of that play. So now you take a look at dapr. He's mid-map, and he's also taken over all control through market. So it's going to be allowing Sentinels to rotate away, using the from the shadows to get the spike planted quicker over towards B, and Sinatra's found a kill. Shahzam mid-map will fall, though. So now it's just down to this 2v many isolated players, to be fair. You've got an isolated player right here on the dapr. He will find 1 kill. Can he grab the second? He's going to decide to play his life very wise. Android 1v4 will not really get off the ground, and Sentinels are now up 2, 11-9, and ANDBOX once again have to make a financial decision.
Such a tough position to play in from a macro perspective as well for ANDBOX, because they are sensing, okay, nothing's happening B. We are seeing everything at A. Now they're using paranoias. Now they're running it back as well. Start sending people over towards that location. It comes down to zombs from the shadows. TP all the way over towards B. dapr's already into towards market. Sick is making his way over towards B lobby as well. You have a pretty decent setup from Sentinels in that, I mean, Zombs isn't going to be caught off. Zombs fully trusting that they've emptied the B side as well, which ends up being true. Here we go, aggression being shown over towards B main, and Ye gets taken down.
Poach is also committed to from the shadows here, or pardon me, the Hunter's Fury. Really beg your pardon there, and Android will come through and find 2. So actually, this is looking pretty darn good for ANDBOX. Feeling that their backs are against the wall, they use just about everything. They force out a couple of weapons, and it pays off in a major way, but Zombs is still got his life in this 1v2 mid-map. He's already pushed through. It just comes down to, can he really break apart these final 2 ANDBOX members who know the spike is down just outside B main?
I mean, is this another one of those classic ANDBOX thrifty moments versus Sentinels on this map that we've seen all over that first half? And those were the kind of the biggest issues. Those were the biggest mistakes. So those were the biggest missing pieces for Sentinels in terms of rounds they could have had. Sentinels would have been on 12 by now. They could have even won this map by now. ANDBOX are in a great position to confirm 10. Zombs has to go up against 2. And both players have eyes on Spike. Recon's gone for now. There's still a smoke available from both sides. And Paranoid from Zombs could actually be the difference maker if he finds the right opportunity.
There's so many angles that he has to clear, but he's actually done very well. Diligently cleared almost every single corner he needs to. Now he should know that the last players, they have to be sitting back alley by spawn, but as he tries to run away with the spike, boy, will find the kill. And as you mentioned, no dark cover, no paranoia, nothing was really used there. Just trying to be very, very sneaky. It doesn't pay off.
It's too good to be true. He's looking around like, oh my god, do I have the spike for free? I can't believe nobody's home. I'm just going to take this and walk away. It's too good to be true. Zombs, come on, buddy. You got to know they're hiding some of this. No way there's two ANDBOX members that have just completely left eyes on the spike and just wandered off. Like, where could they be? The one place that you hadn't looked was going to be over towards attacker spawn, and he had flash available. He had smokes available, and it's a bit sad. He's going to end up dropping it by. Here we go, though. New round, though. New opportunity. ANDBOX have certainly caught up. One round is the difference between the two teams.
Sentinel's offense has looked much more polished than it has previously. Again, this is ANDBOX's map choice. We would be going to Haven coming up next, which is good news for Sentinels fans. Not terrible news for ANDBOX fans, but I wouldn't consider it to be good news. So, as we get into this round, shahzam getting tagged up a multitude of different times by the Aldra, and that'll slow down hits from Sentinels, but they've got mid-map controlled, and it's just going to be down to Android, as he's the only one defensively responsible for it.
And very confident as well. You can see shahzam wasn't scared of losing his angle, still holding over towards tree. And now that they've eaten up some of the utility coming through from ANDBOX, 50 seconds or so left to go. Now they have pretty much all of mid. You even have Andrew, by the way, giving up his position looking into pizza. So if Sentinels want to do this, they can actually split B, and both of the B players are all the way in backside, so nobody's going to check the entrances. It's just going to be the camera to spot everything.
The camera will find two.
30 seconds
Not going to send the spy dart cam out yet. Android has also hit the run it back. Can't find the first kill, though. So now the paranoia comes out. Here comes the challenge. They should find one for free. A little shaky from Boy, and while that happens, Sick finds not just three. How about all four? 13 seconds on the clock. Spike will be planted, and Ye has no choice but to hold this operator for the next round. Any exit kill would be okay, but more importantly, you have to hold this operator because ABX is not comfortable financially.
And I think for Sentinels as well, at a certain point in this post spot, they might actually want to hunt this gun down. Like you said, it's not just about potentially giving Sick the ace, which would be pretty cool. I mean, Sinatraa kind of tried to bait for him a little bit there as Sinatraa dies and Sick's like, where is he? Give me the kill. That being said, though, the more important thing is taking the gun away, and as the timer of the spike goes, here we go. Sick is going to go hunting. He's looking for this last kill. Even if he dies, doesn't matter. He can afford another gun. It's Ye that will be in trouble. It's ANDBOX that would be in heavy trouble. He should be hearing the footsteps. At this point in time, Sick is kind of going the wrong way, and he will run out of time. Ye is going to save the gun.
But is that the last lifeline here for ANDBOX is, I think, the real question. I mean, you take a look at the economy. Boy can purchase, but Ye can't help his teammates really much whatsoever. Poach should also be able to afford, but it's going to be light SMGs or pistol upgrades at best for the rest of ANDBOX in the form of Seb and Android. And it looks like Android is actually just going to prefer to play with the Sheriff this round.
It's going to come down to thrifty magic again. I think that's what ANDBOX have to rely on. 2 more rounds of this. I mean, 1 round where hopefully they don't lose too much, and 1 more round where they can... The last one, it will be 24, where they can get some guns available. The flashes are being sent through now. What opportunity to swing, and unfortunately, Android gets taken down.
And shahzam able to find the easy counter trade. And now Seb, next one up. Good for 1, not a second. Yay, we talked about his lifeline here potentially with the operator. Misses the first shot. Sentinels on the B zone. Good to be able to get the spike planted, but Boy has found a kill at long range. That actually makes the spawn angle a bit more safe for ANDBOX to try to contest this. A 3v3 retake. Weapons still better for Sentinels than ANDBOX, but just marginally. Recon bolt comes through. Sick has completely avoided it. Now as he peeks out, he's able to find one. Knows there's a second one nearby. Curveball up top. Good help from shahzam as he finds his third. And only Sick to clean everything up in the backside. I mean, after that X-Set Immortals game that we had here on NSG2, I mean, 2 overtimes, 3 really hotly contested maps. I thought we were going to be... I didn't think we were going to get on Tonight Admiral until like 11 o'clock at night, but the second game a little bit faster than the first, and now we've got Sentinels in a 1-0 lead. And like we mentioned, on their map pick, they will be starting things off offensively, and it will be initially a 3-person stack right over towards A. Android looking to maybe try to meet this at its head as he does kind of peek and gander. But it's actually going to be Seb from behind that's going to get most of this pressure, and he's not really interested in doing much else besides throwing a couple of shoulders. Nice shot there from Android. He can also get the dismiss to stay safe with 58 HP.
Would love to heal off that one, but would be too greedy. Of course, you have Android playing Reyna, starting out with you know, the ghost plus no armor. That means if he's got a high chance of being fragged as well, he's only got 100 HP. If he doesn't get a kill, doesn't get the heal up, he's in a bit of trouble, which right now, 50-something HP is not great, but still alive. That's the important thing. Sentinel shifting over towards B now. Early smoke to cover the link. It will come down to Poach to try and hold.
And again, Poach required to play a bit better than he had, not just on the last map, but also today. Not even going to be able to contest really the plant whatsoever. Boy going to pick up, though, and just run right on in. He'll find a headshot onto shahzam, but the spike, of course, already being planted. Means that for ANDBOX, you've got to find a way to retake through this mid-staircase. And you do have Ye lingering through garage doors. He will actually hit the sound cue, though, as he comes through the cyber cage. Sick finding another elimination from the offensive standpoint, but onto the site they go. Ye's actually able to find 2 kills. Now it's just down to Zombs trying to dance in and out of the dark cover. Not going to be successful, and the retake for ANDBOX is good, thanks largely to Boy.
I mean, ANDBOX had more players alive there. 4 alive versus Sentinels 3, and of those 3, 2 were heavily damaged. Cool plays from Sick on the running headshot. I know they nerfed running headshots on rifles recently, but how about running headshots on frenzies? That's got to be addressed at some point. Because you're seeing some really crazy stuff coming through from that. Sentinel, speaking of going crazy, it's got to be 5 stingers into the force. So full armor, 5 stingers. They could actually catch ANDBOX at a bit of a surprise here, especially because it's not going to be a full purchase either. Ye is going to be trying to hold off on buying, might be looking for the early operator. He'll be on 1700 saved with only a frenzy. And they need to identify or be a force ASAP, because here we go. The recon should reveal some information.
A couple of spam shots actually do come out. That's Poach from right next to Android that throws those shots over to A main. So now there should be information that, yeah, this is going to be a force situation. Sick up close and personal, dealt with very heavily, but Poach will only find 1, has to back away. Android will be traded, so 4v4. The take still coming through. Zombs for 2. Ye was being threatened, but stays alive. Now it's just down to, can he respond to dapr? He deals a significant amount of damage, but isn't able to find the elimination. So now just down to the 1v2. Seb trying to enter in, has a Spectre, taking it very quickly. Lots of footsteps being made, and dapr just swings wide, finds his 3rd kill, and Sentinels force buy successful.
Everyone's just running and headshotting right now. Sentinels, they run through. They don't show the stingers for quite a while as well. They don't have to shoot until the owl drone coming through from Poach in sewers actually starts to spot them. Then you hear the sound of the stingers, and that is when ANDBOX know what's actually happening. They know a force is actually on the way. A lot of damage being done. Ye did actually get 1 kill on the frenzy, I believe, but even upgrading onto the stinger, couldn't quite swap gun in time. Still had the frenzy in hand and couldn't quite kill dapr. He's going to walk away from that one alive and still with the SMG in hand, and that's going to be Sentinels now buying up with a single rifle as well. So successful force now into potentially successful buy. Aggression being shown for ANDBOX as they trade 1 for 1.
And Sick actually can't recontest. The dark cover coming forward. They're able to pick up 1 weapon for ANDBOX, but now the reattempt will be there. ANDBOX just flooding forward, looking to take away more weapons, but shahzam not interested in that happening anytime soon. Walks away with 3 kills, and Sentinels will confirm the 3rd round up 2-1. Beyond that, also earning a Blade Storm and a neural theft for this potential round 4.
It really slows down ANDBOX's gun round, which now has to be round 4. They will have that operator that Ye's been waiting for as well. He's also 1 away from the Blade Storm. From the shadows there for Boy. Don't know if he'll really be able to use that this particular round. I don't expect that the Blade Storm will be popped for shahzam unless... I mean, he might go for it if they really want to contest in terms of having the weapon value. They got 1 Bulldog, 2 rifles, 1 away from also getting that runner back on 6. So that if they prioritize an orb, that could be the play. But they are going mid instead, so no orb to be found. And no one home at B either.
Yeah, just instant cloudburst tailwind in, get the spike planted, set up the post plant. ANDBOX. Gonna come largely right outside of the C garage. 1 for 1 exchange. Sick able to find it now a 2 for 1. Android couldn't fully get through. So now he's getting spammed through the doors. His secondary peek denied by Sinatraa up top. So the post plant for Sentinels will be relatively uncontested from the back. It's going to have to be ANDBOX finding some incredible shots. And would you know if they found 1 and a second? shahzam holding down the trigger, finds the kill. But now it's just down to Poach. And as Sinatraa throws another shoulder, it pulls the aim away. And Sentinels will confirm their post plant now up 3-1.
I mean, a good effort from the last 2 players alive there between
really.
Ye and Poach. However, I mean, you have to think about the fact that what's Android doing over towards Garage? He kind of dry peeks. Yes, he throws up the double layers to help the rest of his teammates get through, and I mean, between Boy and Seb, they'll at least be able to get one frag, but then you see Android still just right-picking by himself. He's not really waiting for teammates, trying to take a duel versus everybody. You got the whole of Sentinels playing a post plant outside of B, which is fairly normal. A couple of guys in the window, a couple of guys holding maybe even further behind, and, well, I mean, Android just kind of gives away his life. Here comes some more aggression from Ye, though. This is where the Blaze could find value, but Sentinels have been surviving so far.
For one. Now shahzam able to find more and copy paste what we saw last time when ANDBOX run and eco. Just darting right through middle. And it finds about the same success that it had the first time. Just a single kill. No weapons to be recollected. And now ANDBOX, they are going to have 4 ultimates to play with and they should be able to full purchase. Must win round, maybe, possibly, question mark?
Well, if they don't win this one, they're going to have to eco again, which is going to be quite sucky. I would have to say that ANDBOX are going to go for a decent amount of ultimates committed. Android for sure looking over towards the Empress. It's going to be a big one. Poach will be bringing that Odin over towards B garage. So, you know, typically he would be playing over towards A. He's not going to be able to recon A like he normally does. But it is going to come down to Ye. What does Ye see? He sees an Aldron early. Now there's about 3 people there. 4 indeed coming through from C.
And Sick finds one with the run it back. That's Poach, who is playing through C garages. Opens up a lot of space for them to rotate in. Spike should be planted without much contest, so it's going to be on to ANDBOX to try to find a way to retake. It's going to be the Empress coming out. And Android really start to pop here. Leers through. Paranoia as well. Seb good for 1 from the garage. Android another. Now we're on the corner. Android doesn't expect it. Sinatraa stays alive. Can he find a second? No, he will not. And so now it's down to a 2v3. Last 2 members for Sentinels playing through C long. They've got a really good look at where this spike is. And Sick can continue to try to harass any try to contestants because he's got another curveball, but boy, we'll just find both kills at range. Plenty of time for the defuse, and ANDBOX, they have a successful retake. Now up, pardon me, just down 2-4.
ANDBOX have a lot of plays alive as always. A 3v2 at the end there. A lot more utility coming through from ANDBOX. You see the team flash coming through from Sick onto dapr, not ideal. So the 2 of them can't even really swing together. I mean, Sick kind of can solo swing that one. Dapr's like, I can't see anything. So for Sentinels, they get the early plant coming on through. They punish Poach over towards garage. It seems like a very decent start. They push Ye off the line, most importantly. So this is the first bit of really big aggression we see coming through from Sentinels over towards C long. And kind of the one round where Ye's really finally starting to find some value on the operator in terms of people coming into his line, but instantly pushed off by the Aldron. And he has to be one of the first players out of the picture. Now it's gone back to A. So Sentinels 3 going down towards A main, over towards long. You do have a push-up coming through from Ye as well, so he'll be the one solo holding towards C, hoping somebody will walk into him. He can still push off that angle as well, but it's going to be, I think, action over towards definitely sewers here as Android knows someone's around the corner.
Oh, this is a big 1v1 if they decide to take it. Or will it even be a 1v1? Have they fully stacked through? Curveball in a pretty solid spot. Android good for the first. Dismisses and is just barely able to get around the corner. So that's the operator down. Underscrew are going to come through, and that's actually going to force Android to take a challenge. And while they've done that, there will be a kill. But otherwise, through the middle of the map, Poach has actually found 2 kills, just letting it go right through sewer. And that's going to be good enough for ANDBOX to find themselves in a 4v1 immediately after the exchange.
Well, Zombs is in a world of hurt now. Yep, there we go. Ye coming from the angle from C. Zombs has no idea. And the A push has been completely nullified there. Good attempt by Sinatraa on the Hunter's Fury. I mean, that was good play in terms of they knew they had Android trapped behind a couple of boxes just exiting the sewers. But even with that, it's not going to be nearly enough. Sentinels get wrapped around, collapsed upon in the sewers, and ANDBOX is starting to slowly come back. Now that 1-4 early loss is still kind of on there for ANDBOX. There's a bit of a black check mark that they're not going to be too happy with, but now only 1 round away. We did say like they needed to start winning some of these rounds to get their economy back into play. They will be able to do that at least for now. So how much more do they get? Because Ye posting over towards A, he's got a lot of people in the way.
Android still wanting to play aggressive, not going to get the better of shahzam this time. So an early 5v4 for Sentinels, and ANDBOX have largely wanted to play aggressive off their initial defense. Sometimes it's given them an advantage, but others, like right now, they're just letting Sentinels get an opportunity to move on to a site for free, of which they will also commit the spike very quickly. 3 members stacked up top, a lot of shots coming out, but not a lot connecting. It's actually the shock dart coming defensively from Poach that finds the most value so far. Boy looking to clear things out from the shadows. He sees at least a little bit of information. But still, ANDBOX, they've used a lot of utility, and they haven't even stepped foot onto the site yet.
Sentinels have nearly a perfect post plant here as well. You got about 3 people offside, couple on there. The crossfires are so good. And there's almost no way. Yeah, ANDBOX, they're going to have to exit out of the situation. Ye's trying to keep this operator alive, 1 versus 5. And Sentinels do not want to let him save the gun. Here comes the chase. All 5 members from Sentinels trying to converge. And this is the manhunt of the entire game right here. It's going to come down to how far can Ye get before the Sentinels arrive.
Well, he's going to have to hold his life in this corner. It just comes down to can he hit the shots. There's the first. The second also there, but zombs was double peeking. So it's a punishing exit, but not punishing enough. I mean, this is not a weapon you want to just have to drop right there. So Ye will be able to repurchase, though, with a couple of kills coming through, so they won't really miss the pressure of the sniper rifle. But, of course, that does mean that their economy is going to take a bit of a blunder or hiss.
I mean, we say pressure the sniper rifle, but twice now. I mean, Ye's had 2 good opportunities. He was on C long, had 4 people pushing up there, couldn't quite get anything done, was pushed off the line. Same thing over towards A long. He got pushed off the line very early. He actually was able to take a shot, but he misses. So a couple times for Ye where he could be swinging things 5v4 for his team, but just isn't able to connect anything. So here we go. Can he find something now? Surely he does, and shahzam goes down.
6 still on the way forward. Trap wire will not allow him to use the run it back to any success at all. So now Sentinels, they're forced to play a 4v5 with a lot of time on the clock. And when they've been in this position before, they just gut check call to get the spike planted at B. That will be the case once more. dapr finds Boy on the long flank through A main, leaving Coach to try to deal with the exits. And he just gets blessed with a bit of spam through the blaze wall, keeping the 1 number advantage for ANDBOX for this retake.
Now this retake has very high value. They still got a decent amount of util left. They've got a flash available as well. This paranoia could be big. Zombs would have to confirm more. Shocked Out will take him down, and ANDBOX still have now 2 players in terms of over what Sentinels have. Not just the 1. dapr, no more kills available. Ye takes up everything. 3 on that blaze storm, and even a couple members surviving on like 1 HP here, specifically looking over towards Seb, so just keeping the guns alive.
Look, I'm not going to sit there and say that Ye has been much improved because he's always been really good. But if we were to think back to what we first started watching ANDBOX picking up steam, what was it, during like that Renegades Invitational qualifier, right, Kevin? And that was largely just Android running through everybody. And again, Ye played well, but he has been a force in the last couple of weeks. 10-5 so far. He's been going essentially kill for kill with shahzam, which is required when you're playing up against the Sentinels.
I think ANDBOX kind of peaked towards the end of the year, just as we got into First Strike, and unfortunately they couldn't play with the full roster in First Strike. And now that everything's in order, ducks in a row here for Ye as well, we'll finally get more opening frags. This is what we've been waiting on, because Ye's been missing a decent amount of those shots in the earlier rounds. This is what the operator is supposed to do, give you that 5v4, and Ye still has more players that he can find. Oh my god, Boy, yeah, he gets burned alive.
Hot hands turning Boy's feet into a little bit of smoldering instances. So now it's down to the hit coming through. Sentinels trying to scout things out with zombs. Nice first attempt from Android as he goes 1 for 1, but then shahzam responds. And we get now a 2v2 situation. They're both have to be committed, and with this, dapr will know the full flank is coming. Gets the spike planted. Zombs will recognize the threat. dapr reads the second with its spy dart. And so now it's down to Sentinels, as actually dapr's going to challenge long around. See if he can maybe catch out Poach. And the timing is pretty darn good. This comes down to, will there be a check here from Poach? There is! At the exact right second, so now it's down to Zombs for a 1v2. Seb will toggle the defusal. Zombs finds the kill, knows he needs the check, and Zombs takes it with 2 headshots. 6-4 through 10, favoring Sentinels.
I'm a little bit surprised at what Poach was doing there. He had the perfect read to turn around at the exact right time to dispatch dapr, but somehow doesn't think that, okay, maybe Zombs, the last player alive, could actually be in hell. And typically what you would do, if you're going to drop out of heaven, you check hell straight away. The first place you look is hell as soon as you drop down. And Poach is looking anywhere but where Zombs was. So that was a free kill. Zombs then gets to swing in a 50-50, 1 versus 1 against Seb. And I mean, it's the end of the story right there. Zombs will take that kill as well and confirm the round. So I think if Poach at least maybe got a bit of extra damage done, saw that kill early. Let's actually look at this though. Hunter's Fury from Poach collects 2, and Ye gets an opening shot on the operator again.
Just hard prediction. That's all that was. Shahzam will respond. This would be a 1v4 situation for him. He's got a Phantom to play with. Android around the corner. Doesn't check it.
You're just like
But poach
was a fast
blindly,
round.
Avril. It's the second time we've seen him find value in that same
last
exact
round
angle.
before the switch.
It's usually Sinatraa. Usually you're thinking, okay, if anyone's just going to throw out Hunter's Furies and get connection, Sinatra's been doing that plenty. Poach will finally return the favor. So, you know, Poach heard us talking smack about his kills. I mean, he's definitely up there now, one way or another. Yay as well, you know, heard the smack talk being shown on stream, and he was like, you know what, I'll start hitting some of these operator shots early. Now he's got more than enough as we head towards the final round of the half. 5 and 6. Bit of a throwback, I think, to Ascent, where we had a 6 and 6 finish. ANDBOX looking for the exact same now, if possible.
Sentinels broken by situation in this last round of the half. Run it back, going to be spent paranoid as well early. Sick really wants to chase down this kill, and okay, misses a crucial kill. Android, though, able to respond, Sed picking up the pieces for 2, and that will be 4 members down, just up to Sick, who does teleport back to safety, but we'll throw an asterisk next to that simply because of the fact that he's actually stuck right now
Safe
in this
for now.
cubby. Yeah.
Safe until he either gets pushed or he has to go in. And well, he's going to have to go. 1 flash available. A wall available as well. Look, if the spike was a little bit closer, he'd be able to maybe make some magic happen. The best he can do now is wait for the Empress to go away, and then eventually still turn, and eventually still have to swing, and eventually still probably have to die.
He recognizes the situation, maybe considering a bit of a jump peek here. Curveball goes out. Reads that there's a player to the left, also knows the sniper rifle's watching from afar. 35 seconds. And, well, the hot hands, that's what to say. That might connect. Yeah, it sure does. It forces Boy a little bit out, but he'll stay safe. And now there's really not much utility left for Sick. And he will eventually drop Android for 3 in the round. And that'll get us to another 6-6 tie at the half. Goodness, how has this happened? But we'll find out how this map concludes when we come back. I mean, again, we talked about how ANDBOX has not played this map in some time. Sentinel's very good at this map. We've exited out of this half 6-6, even including after the fact Sentinels put together a really strong first half with 4 straight rounds there in the beginning.
That's the thing, right? I think ANDBOX had a slow start here. Sentinel's getting off to a very quick lead after going for the Stinger Force. And now it's going to be, what, 9 frenzies out of 10 players, all going over towards Garage as well. We got Sick burning down Seb, spraying down Gay as well. And that's actually going to be most of the Garage push gone.
2 hot hands kills for Sick. I mean, what was it when we were doing one of the open quals, I think, for First Strike? We saw a Blaze Wall kill. That was the first time we've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen a hot hands get 2 separate kills used twice in the round, but it's still not over yet. It's going to be a 3v1 situation, and Zombs is able to put up the last 2, so Sentinels will win the pistol.
I mean, I gotta say, these teams are playing super quickly. A couple times now, we're talking about things that are happening in the round, then instantly, like, 3 people are dead. And it doesn't change, even though we've swapped sides here. ANDBOX straight away. The time hits 0. They're just diving into Garage here. So, the hot hands getting a kill. Sick getting another one on the frenzy. Like I said, 9 frenzies out of 10 players. Only 1 player had a classic, and that was dapr, because he's got to buy up some extra stuff on the sides. You know, all the regular kind of cypher stuff that you got to be able to put up. I'm moving over towards round number 2, and I mean, ANDBOX, like, we're gonna force also. You guys forced. We're gonna force. They're actually doing a sort of different force here. Instead of going for 5 stingers, it's actually gonna be 3 specters, but they don't have the full armor.
So, did we see 2 Ares on the list right there?
dapr and Sinatraa have them.
Okay. So that's going to be a 3-man defensive stack over towards B, as Sentinels are predicting that this is eventually going to be a B hit. Oh, Shahzam reads every bit of information, but he is a little bit stuck. Does walk away with 1 kill. Not bad to trade out his life. Zombs with a quick rotation. Long-range shots are good, but we go pitch direct to the kill feed. Just 2 for 2 so far. Sinatraa trying to spam through the box. Hot hands as well, but even still, we go back and forth, trade for trade. And it's a 2v2 with the spike planted. Retake is going to happen quickly. dapr up top going to read 1 bit of information. That's the last bit of information required, as Poach is on 34 HP. Nice shots there. Shock Dart very well could connect. It does, giving him a chance, but dapr locks down a little bit of a wallbang headshot, and Sentinels, they hold against the force buy, and now they're up 2.
Yeah, just not enough HP there for Poach, sadly. Just 1 shot away. Anything will do it. That's where the areas can really come to town as well and do some real work. So not to try to spam through the boxes, but I don't think the areas was going to do enough there. So a good attempt on the force. It kills everybody except once. That all Sentinels get to walk away with from that round is just the one Ares. It is going to force quite a few rebuys. That actually evens up the economy a fair bit. So despite the force failing, it means that ANDBOX are not going to have a gun round in round number 3. It delays their gun round to number 4 now. It also kind of delays Sentinels as well because Sentinels have to go for so many rebuys. This technically is no longer a proper bonus round. So any further kills, any further deaths coming through from Sentinels is going to be pretty nasty.
Oh, and this is aggressive from Sentinels. Recognizing the force buy from the previous, knowing that they can just get aggressive, maybe find a couple of opening kills. Poach will find one. Sinatraa holding the angle, gets a first. Shock dart through, good help. That's going to be 3 for him, looking for the 4th. Of course, why not? Long range right click. Beautiful hold on the shock dart, and even better help from behind. Sentinels only drop 1 as they go up to 9.
Yeah, and they pick up that rifle as well. So Sick did have a Phantom. It's going to go over to a teammate, Shahzam, I believe, picked that one up. And just a little bit of a fun fact here as well. Sinatraa started that round 3 out of 7 on the ult charge. So he, with 4 kills precisely, is going to now have a Hunter's Fury available going into the actual gun round. So in terms of finding timings for getting a few advantages as the team that will have technically the worst equipment here, and I'm talking about Sentinels because they only have 3 rifles plus 1 Bulldog plus 1 Stinger, which is still pretty good. They will now be able to use that Hunter's Fury. We talked about Sinatraa, tags one straight away and still gets the kill.
Oh, he tags the
It gets
second.
another
Yeah,
tag.
that's beautiful. Tough situation for ANDBOX. I mean, you're looking at this round, again, not a must win, but you would have loved to have been competitive, right? I mean, had a really good look at this. This is your first full buy round, and Sinatraa denies it immediately. He's trying to get a little bit further aggressive, but Android will shut down the play, get an overheal, and we'll go 4v4 with 70 seconds of the round.
I mean, apart from Sinatraa dying there, that's, 5v4 straight away, utilizing the ultimate advantage straight away. The ultimate, he only got last round because he gets the perfect amount of kills. Sure, he could have probably picked up an orb, but that would have slowed things down. He's looking for a timing straight out the gate. ANDBOX will at least capitalize on the fact that they can turn the numbers around back even. They can use Empress if they need to, which they might have to start thinking about. C so far is clean. There is a camera there. Dapr's going to have to toggle this camera. He probably will do so now as the utility comes through.
Empress will be popped. Spike is not immediately being planted. Sid coming through, timing off the run it back. Good for 1. That's the spike that's on the ground. They could technically just wait for this run it back to expire and just try to milk out the rest of this Empress. Don't give it a chance to find any kills. Spike will be picked up. Empress about a quarter of the way to being done. And yeah, Android's going to get this spike down, but Sentinels, they've killed off a lot of time from it, and now as they push forward, maybe there's an opportunity, but yay, in the dark cover, we'll find 2, leaving things to a 1v1. Zombs to the Stinger, long-range shots! Oh my goodness, how good were those shots? Finds the headshot, and ANDBOX now all of a sudden, you feel them start to panic as they're down 4, 6-10.
Not the first time we've seen Zombs do extremely well on the Stinger. That happened on Ascent as well. Remember grass? Remember tree? My god, Zombs is really starting to do some real damage here. That's an understatement for sure. Sentinels away with 4 early rounds again. Early in the half. And for ANDBOX, I mean, what was Seb doing with the spike? Why was Seb taking the spike to the back of site? You have a good plant straight in front of you in front of the box. If you want to go for the gold plant at the back of the site, you know the one I'm talking about, right next to the boxes.
Yeah,
you wouldn't go towards the right side of, of C. You would go to the left side. So he takes the spike towards the spawn of Sentinels, gets fragged, and makes it a very late spike plant and forces Android into a weird spot as well. So yeah, just everything kind of going awkwardly over towards C. They're going to need to think about that a little bit later on, though, as there's 4 rounds now for ANDBOX to try and catch up in, and they already lose 2 players.
Oh, man. It's all gone wrong in the last couple. Android trying to salvage, able to find 1. Second player on the corner, able to tag a little bit to be an elbow there for a moment. So Poach will be allowed to plant. Very doable still in a 3v4, simply because you do have the Hunter's Fury available. And the shock dart value lands right on Seb's head. Beautiful angle from our observers, but even still, Android able to find a second and a third, make it a 4th. Is he good for the ace? He's still fully healed, 150 HP. And as Shahzam finds 1, he will line up all 3 of them. What a mistake for ANDBOX. A round that they surely should have had. Now they're down 6-11.
Get out.
That's it. That might be it. That might be the nail in the coffin right there. You tried to give the ace over to Android, even if you weren't. Even if you were just trying to double peek him, you literally peeked him at the same time. So all Shahzam had to do was hold down the trigger, and everyone just lined up perfectly for him. That was an absolute train wreck. It was a 3v1. There was no way Shahzam should be able to win that. And ANDBOX have just tied that one up neatly in a nice little bow. Ended on the doorstep, rung the bell, walked away. Merry Christmas, there it is. Potentially 2 maps done and dusted now. Sentinels 2 away. Undisturbed from Poach, not going to find a connection early on this time.
Oh boy. What a change of events this is. Android still playing well, wants to get aggressive. Second Empress that we've seen in about 4 rounds.
Okay.
He'll find a second kill through the dark cover, just spamming at it. Spike will successfully be planted. dapr? Pretty sure he just saw the spy cam, but wants to try to stay concealed. Deals with the Empress, but can't find the second. So now Sentinel's a 2v4 situation. Shahzam with an operator is going to be hard to try to work his way in, and Sentinels may consider just kind of poking around, and if they don't find anything, they may have to give this up.
Could be a huge round for ANDBOX. Again, they don't have the best equipment value here. You can see Bulldogs. Yay, pop the Blaze Storm as well. They've got 2 extra alive. They got 4 alive overall, 2+ on what Sentinels have, and Sentinels are running out of time. They need to do something or get out, which is, I believe, what's happening. That's going to be another free gun for Yay. They'll be able to walk away safely. Yeah, there you go. There's the dash we're looking for, and Shahzam will keep the operator as well. So like I said, they're difficult to retake with the operator, especially onto B. There's still a lot of U4 place to clear. Limited time available. ANDBOX keeping their head above water for now, but, you know, it's taken them 6 rounds in this half to just get the 1 on board. It's been 5 in a row for Sentinels, which is so much to deal with, and this could be the opportunity now for ANDBOX to string through a few more, because Sentinels are kind of strapped for cash. They have the 1 operator, but for everyone else, they don't really have enough to buy.
Yeah, the only thing that they're really missing here is the fact that they did just use 3 ultimates. So that's going to have to be their big kind of making up ground standpoint, is you've got to find a way to try to get some of these orbs in play, because, yeah, you've got an opportunity to get through 8th round right here, but Sentinels will likely be close to getting just about every single ultimate they could ever want. So ANDBOX need to get 8 here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This has to happen.
The most important thing here for ANDBOX is to identify where the operator could be, and they're about to find it as Boy eats that shot from Shahzam, and oh my goodness, they're trying to just stack up totem pole over towards the C entrance, and they thought maybe they could punish. The one thing that could cost them this round, the one thing that could save Sentinels, is going to be coming through from the operator, or I guess Sick just hiding around the corner with a Bucky. That's stunned to fall apart now. 2 down from ANDBOX, and potentially 2 guns being picked up.
Android has to go absolutely beast mode. He's going to get some information to his left, but doesn't check his right. Last player in the mix is going to be Yay. He falls. Oh, man. It's just Sentinels on Drifty rounds. Name a more iconic duo. I dare you. 12-7. The only kill to write home about is one that Poach finds, and it's an insignificant one, as we're on match point here through our second map on Haven.
That is the worst way for ANDBOX to go to a match point in terms of allowing Sentinels to go to a match point, if I'm going to be specific here, because, like I said, I mean, the one key win condition, or the one way that Sentinels can turn that around around towards them, is if Shahzam can maybe find something on the operator. So for ANDBOX, identifying where the operator was going to be, super important. But other than that, I mean, yeah, the Bucky was on board. Sick was the only one with the Bucky. We talked about Zombs, and the rest of them were Stingers already hiding around corners. ANDBOX couldn't clear them. They couldn't clear them well enough, and everyone gets fragged. It's disgusting. That nearly was a flawless. Here we go. Shahzam gets an opening kill, but sinatraa gets traded.
Double push through middle. dapr has existed right through this Lear, and as one challenges through his cyber cage, he'll find the kill, but does again get traded. Now on to Sick. Nice flash. Curveball's good. Shahzam able to help out as he finds an elimination. Just down to Poach. Deals with the running back. That should be a free kill onto the Phoenix. It will be. Now down to Shahzam. Can he find the corner angle? Poach is stuck literally on top of his site. As he takes the challenge, he will find another kill. Al drone up. Does he get the tag? Yes, he does. Spams the corner. Now is he going to take the full final? He will, but Zombs still wins the 1v1. That will eliminate ANDBOX from the closed qualifiers in our first instance. Here in the VCT, Sentinels stay alive, if just barely.
I know. This is... there's a few things that are really crazy about this game. First of all, Sentinels are in the lower bracket. Second of all...
need whenever they want to, and Immortals got caught completely off guard with that 3-player ace.
Oh. I mean, I call nature an impact fragger in a sense, but you really have to give that title to Food. Yeah. Yesterday, he caught, if I'm not mistaken, 3 4Ks that, of course, all led into round wins, and not only that, but Envy, they were down people in those rounds. So even then, Food has, I guess you could say, a clutch gene, either that or just a willing to just throw himself out there as a sage of all characters into interactions that he really shouldn't be in. And again, Food has always been a very stellar individual fragger ever since his days in Counter-Strike. And well, you put him on a stage, pure support character, you put him in a tight situation, and he's gonna be able to frag out. And there he goes again. Initial peek and B main from Immortals gets immediately taken down by Food. And now Envy, again, within seconds, they have a man advantage.
Right here, Envy, it's keeping a clean round, but also keeping up as many of these ultis as you can. Charge up as many as possible as well. I think on the Immortal side, at least, a couple of them are nearing completion. I think the lockdown, especially for Nature, could be big. The Empress for shot up. So, Immortals, any kills that they can get, they'll be glad they can get them. They're taking things slow here, Envy. Again, understanding that this is no slouch of a team, Immortals. They don't have much to play with here in Envy. They completely have this sight, but two players flanking quick into heaven. Crashies, he does have a Vandal, he's got the firepower, and he's going to catch one off guard the second. Chemicals wanted the gun. Crashies was completely aware. There's those Seekers charged up in FNS. We're going to maybe add another tally to the ultimate.
Indeed he will. Takes down Nature in mid. Crashies already had Seekers. Just like that, it's going to be a flawless one for Envy. And no crazy economic damage coming in from Immortals. No... not even a win off the 1v1s, not too much damage being done. So if anything, Envy with light util usage actually over towards that site, it's not going to be too much of a reinvestment, but that's not really the thing that we should be focusing on. It's really Immortals that in the early rounds, back towards the rifles and the SMGs at least, are going a little bit more individualistic in a sense. They're starting to slow down more, which is at least a good adjustment.
Yeah, and this one though, Immortals, retake towards this A side, that's why you only see Nature here, because he has that lockdown. He's going to try and play around that shot up again. He does have that Empress. If he needs to, he'll use it to explode. Same thing with a Showstopper or us on the side of Envy. Seekers for the retake. Revive available as well. I mean, ultimates all across the board for these sides. And yep, there's that retake set up. Envy will have the site for free, but Nature with this lockdown, does he get hunted down? Yep, Seekers go in. He will be exposed at least to his positioning. And Immortals, they're going to try and regroup together. Again, because Envy have been playing that late lurk towards mid, it kind of keeps in the back of their mind that there could be someone there for Immortals. With a lockdown ready to go, and Envy, how can they hold this one down? They'll be forced out of the sight, but Immortals, here they come.
Here we go, and not only that, but a lockdown to make things really chaotic. These players from Envy, they got a back on now, but even then, they're still holding down the site. That's massive for Crashies. Catching up two, foot on the front lines. It doesn't even matter. Chemicals and jcstani still catching up frags. Everyone left away, and just like that, Envy, instead of just backing out of sight, they see the lockdown, and I mean, they don't see anything at that point. They just see a round where they can actually frag out towards those back lanes. Mortals feels a little bit too comfortable. They run their ray on, and they have no chance. What a finishing sequence from Crashies and the boys of Envy.
He was the player that I highlighted in the beginning. 50 kills alone against NRG in that 2-map series, and here he goes again, a huge triple, and he just had the Seekers. He's now only one charge off of them. So quick and so fast, and not only that, Envy, they held on to the majority of their ults as well. They are looking good moving forward, and Immortals, how do they respond? Gonna be a light pie, shot up. He's a player that you really need to stand up, and you mentioned Food again. He finds an opening kill. Nature down instantly. Utility gun for the Killjoy. And Immortals, again, it's all about trying to pull some guns out of the hands of Envy. There's not much you can really do with the lesser guns, and already down a man. Envy play this extremely slow, very cautious of these weapons that Immortals hold on to.
And again, folks, with at least SMGs or with a little bit of a plugged up buy, you're going to expect these teams to really stack up a singular site, just, in a sense, really just pull all of their eggs into one basket and just see if they can just try their luck. But Envy, they choose the right side, they get the information needed, and it's all going to be over towards that B site where the rotation comes in actually strong. Chemicals gets himself too with a little bit of a late nade.
This is winnable.
Finesse takes him back though, and absolutely it is. Genghsta now has a Vandal.
And a revive.
Revive and half armor. This is huge for Genghsta. He's gonna try this one out. In we go, 2v2. It's as even as you can get, but Mummay now down to 12 HP, has the Blade Storm, but can't hit any of it. Still FNS in an off angle, not gonna get paranoid, but instead, he's gonna go away, but Mummay with a shot onto Genghsta. Now it's a 1v2. jcstani, he's gone big before, but he has to go even stronger with nothing but a stinger. It's low HP on these last two players, though. They're not even peeking for the right side. They're playing ring around the rosy, and they win the battle. 5-2 for Envy as Immortals. They boot on the Jets, but it's not worth it for them in the end.
That's an explosive play from Chemicals to even put that in a winnable position. Late rotation from Food. He has that, or apologies, not Food, Genghsta. That late rotation, he had that revive available. That became so winnable, but a clean shot from Mummay. That's what you need from him. When he's online with the operator, there's not much you can do to take those one-on-one fights. And Envy, they do barely scrape by in that round, losing 3 players in a position where they should have kept the majority of them alive. But again, Chemicals can always be such a nuisance when it comes to those rounds. And Immortals, with any guns, they can be deadly. But this one, though, it's the full buy for both sides. And Envy, they're taking a little bit more presence towards the extremities, right? You already have crashies grouped up in B main. 2 players posted up here on the A site. And the rest will hang out towards mid. And Immortals, they're not going to try and react. You can see now kind of the concession or the seceding away from this mid position. They're not going to invest too much. And this is the trade style from Immortals. Stick together. 3 grouped up in heaven, prepared to trade one another out. I mean, that's classic Immortals so far.
Oh, classic. And not only that, but they can hold off that heaven position, but a hard retake in B if they absolutely need to. Envy, they get essentially pinched out if they even touch this B position. But Envy, they still gotta hold on back and waiting for the Immortals players to really show any pixels. And indeed they do. Chemicals tiptoes the line in between safety and absolute death, because now Envy, they're still hounding that heaven area. But here we go. Sully, it's exactly what you mentioned. That stack early round is going nuts for them. jcstani in a great position, gonna be able to trade back 2 kills for this team. And now Envy, restricted down to 2, is depending on none other than crashies to make his entry. Shut Up is there with a trade. You said trade heavy, and here we go. 1v2 for Food.
Yeah, Food does have a revive, and you talked about how good he's in these clutches. Well, he can maybe get a kill and get a revive, but 10 seconds left. It's going to be a little bit impossible. Shot Up, good to swing on back, and yeah, again, there's that Immortals trade presence. They have been so good. Again, Sentinels, a team that is extremely well coordinated. Immortals made it look like child's play. They looked insane with that trade fragging. Shot Up always leading that line of fire, and then Chemicals right behind. It's classic Immortals once more, and here again is that replay. Perfect trade. Genghsta goes down. jcstani immediately ready for the second frag after that one as well for 3 in the round. I mean, Immortals, that's the style you need to play. Don't play the game of Envy. In the early stages, it felt like, again, they were kind of drawing themselves towards mid, trying to find one of the X's, and this is what they need to do. Stick together and play your own game as Envy. Here's a little bit more heavy presence. Mummay's been good on the op, and he could get an opening pick on a Shot Up who plays on the left side now.
Slower in heaven, but that's going to be Shot Up in a great position. And oh, the cheeky dismiss. He delays it too, just in case he's able to get that first pick off. But instead now you have the boys of Envy still over towards that back line. Oh, Shot Up sneaking in through the smoke. It's pure timing, but I think he might have made a singular point of noise. Mummay heard him, spread over that communication, and now still Immortals with a man advantage. Chemicals takes back Caboose. Envy, they're still trying out this A site just a little bit more, but looked over towards B. It's crashies all in his lonesome. Everyone from Immortals very reactionary. They full rotate, and they expect that this Envy team has at least gotten themselves control of this site, and indeed they've got it. Yeah, that's going to be the first signal of it. Crashies all the way back in their spawn. They're watching up the cross, and he's actually successful. A little bit of a cheeky shoulder peek, and not only that, but FNS could still probably get the kill. Good adjustment and good rotation, but even then, Chemicals with an absolute Kobe going to be able to get yet another one and make it a 4th. As Chemicals sweeps up the round against Envy, and Immortals, they have a little bit of life left in them because of Chemicals and Shot Up once again.
Yeah, great awareness from Immortals and Chemicals in general to recognize, well, at least from the first kill when he got the player in elevator, it allowed, I think it's Genghsta to make that rotation alongside jcstani. Yep, here on the minimap you can see it. That kill from Chemicals opens that rotation up towards mid, and then they can double back as a team. You again see Immortals sticking as a pack, keeping that trade potential. That's something that's going to be emphasized, I feel like, throughout this entire game, is that Immortals, it's all about playing as a team, playing as a unit to allow trade potential. And Envy, they get caught unaware about it. In that round, though, it was all Chemical. He pops off again. He's been so good on the op lately, and here he is once more. 5 players or 4 players in B main, and one of them could go down instantly, but Chemicals drops, missing the shot. And now a nade to try and put them back in their places. It is going to be Mummay, tacked very low.
It's still interesting though, Envy. Not much control throughout the map. They're really adventuring at this point in terms of what would be a singular player up towards that mid side, but wow, okay. The boom body places it right on top of the wall. It's like he's playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater at this point. Gets a couple of points off of at least a quick grind, and there you go. Quick trick shot, and now we have shot up now with a couple of shots back. And the
Does
double
that all the
dismiss
time.
for more information. That is massive. Envy now down to a singular player. JC standing here for the cleanup. And no, you're absolutely right. Shot up loves to play around with those dismisses, and he does yet another showcase of it in that round.
Yeah, shot up. He's always so cheeky with that kind of stuff. When you get a double, I love the way he uses the Reyna utility. I feel like some people always call Reyna a very selfish agent, but shot up, he uses every single utility piece to help his team, and there's a perfect example of it. Envy. They will be on an eco here. Last round was very, very rough. I feel just the presence of Chemicals alone can deter an entire team. And Envy, I mean, Chemicals can play both sides. We've seen him on A, we've seen him mid, we've now just seen him on B. So Envy, how do you play against an operator that just can't seem to miss only for a few shots while you get aggressive? Mummay already straight up into heaven. He's got this control. And he's going to be looking to hold on to it now as well. Wall goes up to prevent Chemicals. And Mummy, he's going to keep on pushing. He's got the info. No need to reaggress, but Chemicals!
Oh,
he finds
my.
2 before going down. And Envy, they disperse. 3 players left for both sides. And Immortals, 1 player is all that they needed to get back into this one.
Really so, but nature, there you go. I was about to say, nature needs this one onto Caboose, as the second contact isn't there to trade him out. Immortals, they turn this from a huge disadvantage to actually an advantage in their favor. Now Genghsta, he could be able to sweep up yet another kill from behind. Crashies now in a 1v3, and nature is there for the trade back. There you go. There's the KJ exploding a little bit, as now Immortals, they put themselves in prime position at the end of this half, 6-5.
Huge play from Chemicals. I mean, the confidence to even go for a play like that. Blast pack, you kind of know that you're gonna end up going down. I mean, Envy grouped up in there. It's literally perfect. Chemicals has been such an X factor for this Immortals lineup. Him and Shot Up starting to come alive in the early stages in those first 2 rounds, the string of rounds from Envy, those 5 in a row, it wasn't Shot Up, it wasn't Chemicals starting to pull their weight, but here they are now, popping off as usual, and Chemicals winning an early fight as Envy, they run their normal default, presence from food into B main. FNS always been a very good lurk towards at A side as a backdoor, but he's grouped up. They're looking for a B hit. No presence left towards A except for that single trip. And what control can they get here? Shot up, stopped by a smoke, and now stopped by Caboose is forced to back away. But there are 3 players here, Gus, and Envy, with a minute 10 left on the clock, might be looking to actually split back into A heaven instead.
Could definitely happen, because now Immortals, they're actually letting off the gas pedal in that heaven area. So again, just in terms of timing, that would be a great,
the wall.
great optimal time for them. But even then, wall goes down, and you have at least 1 person waiting up and a little bit of an off angle. Could catch a rotation back. So we got to pay attention to that interaction. Still with 45 seconds left, Envy, although we were talking about the potential over towards A, and especially with that util setup, could definitely grind them out. They're still aiming down the B site. We usually see a very heavy pick, but instead it's only going to be jcstani holding it down. He's gonna be able to get 1 trade back for Caboose. Still 1 on site. It's Chemicals with a tight angle, and he gets another 1 back. Still more to pay attention to. That's a slick blast pack, but still not gonna be able to find anything more. Shut up with a big frag. Now it's a 1v3 for food. He's not even gonna go for the plant. Still wants a couple more frags to really make this one worth it. But with the wall going down, Shut Up just around the corner. So much pressure. Food's gonna go down to Genghsta. Immortals. Massive hold from only 2 players. As Envy on the attacking side, only able to get 5 rounds. Immortals actually have the advantage in a map that they haven't exactly played all too much.
Yeah, again though, remember, we kind of go back to that stat line of the 1 map that they have played against Cloud9 Blue. 10-13 loss, and Cloud9, they've proven themselves that they are a top team in North America on split. I mean, with Sunny and him playing on 200 ping, they still won every single split map that they played in the Winter Championship. So Immortals, while they haven't played this map as much, they are, again, still a very capable team in Envy. Now on the defensive half, though, this is the favorite side. This is the tried and true for Envy, and they've been always very consistent on the defense. We'll see if maybe things can change up where Immortals start to get a lot more momentum on the attack, but Envy sticking to, again, those 4 classics, or apologies, the 4 frenzies. They love them. They run and gun with them, and Immortals, it's an early default here, with Envy, again, playing together, just like Immortals did, looking for those early trades, but a wall up towards mid should at least allow these 2 players in heaven, and now Crashies with this rotation, to focus here on this B-bomb site.
And again, it's all solo dolo. As it's still that same attention lurk that we like to see from teams, but he's actually not going to full commit to it, at least in the hands of Immortals. So instead, now Envy. 4 players already fast on the rotation back, and FNS on the front line still holding things back. Huge from Mummay, actually. Popping up from the heaven area, snagging one back, but there's still a whole lot more work to do. Yes, Immortals, they have control of sight, but Envy, I was about to say, they're starting to hound a little bit, but the ramp side's a little bit loose. But with the turret up and Nature still here to help, well, Immortals now has a huge chance. So much oppression in that ramp area just from one player, and he's just snagged away so much time. Time-wasting strats, still crunching it off. Shot up with the first contact with a little bit of damage. Genghsta needs another one here to really make things count. But now shot up in a 1v2. Could potentially get a heal just from one singular frag. It's actually a fake. Not going to be able to get one, though. Tight angle again. Still playing ring around the rosy, around the... At least around the spike. But crashies gets it back. And with a spike finally being defused and a smoke up in a really inconspicuous area. Envy, they're going to take the pistol round. The all-important pistol round as they start to rally up some rounds.
Yeah, huge pickup there for Envy to get the momentum going. Now, do we see a buyback there for Immortals? Envy looked really good on that retake, however. Big paranoia as well from Caboose into the back lines, kind of forcing those 1v1s. Good crossfire held by Immortals, but Envy, they go forward. You talked about Nature buying all that time, and even then, Immortals, they couldn't find the optimal positions. They should have been ready for that 3-player push, and now because of their slight faults, they're gonna have to compromise. Only pistols here, no full buy. The Sheriff at least for Genghsta. How deadly can he be with it? A one-way smoke set up there by Envy, but canceled by the offensive smoke dropped by Caboose. He has a paranoia ready in the back as well now as Envy. Still dancing around with this idea. Immortals, they haven't much control. So this is a big gamble. You don't know how deep the players on A could be. And FNS up close is a cam to play around. And it's going to get the early info. 4, 5 players spotted. Page goes up instantly, and he's going to sit inside.
Oh. I was about to say, ult orb getting taken. He heard that one. He was directly in sight. Could have been baited by it too, but Immortals had a whole lot of trade potential in that area. So still nice and disciplined as Immortals. It almost looks like their one goal there was just to try to take up the ult orb, boot the heck out of there, and Genghsta has control of mid with a kill and elevator. So he's controlling the rotation now from that elevator area. Still a little bit of time could be taken off the clock, still going into spawn as Mummay finally takes down Genghsta. But even then, Immortals, they take all of this attention, all of these frags, and they double back again, Sully. They're on this A site, and they're here for an easy plant if they could get it down in time. FNS, what a rotation! Perfectly on time! Mummay, FNS, both with frags. Envy, they're gonna snag a 7th. As again, Immortals winning out 5 rounds in a row. Envy, at least getting a little bit of confidence back, like you mentioned, with the momentum, but Immortals with the rifles. They even have a cheeky little ulti this early on in the game. We could see some fireworks from Immortals in this round. Envy, though, they are on their bonus.
Big round for Envy, keeping as many players alive, but it isn't a full bonus. 2 players are going to have to force up here, crashies and food. So again, Immortals, they play around with away here, and then moving into the next, it's going to be a weakened buy from Envy. We'll see what Envy can do about it. Lots of pressure for Immortals into being main and Caboose in the back. He's not playing behind the pallet. Instead, I think he's going to try and dance around and back away into spawn if he needs to, but a lockdown. Didn't even see that one come in. I don't think NVO were either, so they're going to back all the way into the site, but Immortals are playing this waiting game, and Caboose, he still has a paranoia, but paranoias, they go both ways. jcstani affected, and Caboose, he plays around this box. This is massive from Caboose.
No way.
In the smoke now, he's got to wait. There's one, down goes Nature, spin back for 2, and Caboose finds 3. That's what you want when you're in the back site, and he's put Envy in a 2v2 as Chemicals comes big. They've got the advantage, Immortals.
I mean, Immortal somehow does one better. Massive from Chemicals with a 3K, but now it's FNS, now in a 1v3. Oh, the revival from Genghsta. Okay, things got a little bit trickier. I was about to say the 1v2, very much possible, but 1v3, fresh HP, and power on site, coverage of heaven. They're getting all that information. And speaking of info, FNS, he hears one over in heaven, but with an alarm button in front and Genghsta watching the cross, that's going to be Immortals with an 8th round. Only 2 players going down, so that rebuy is going to be relatively easy, especially if they start to redistribute that economy. But Envy now going into this next one, you mentioned that it wasn't exactly a full bonus, and that's really coming back to bite them in this round. With 2 players down at just about 2K, they really have to be economically sound, as they might just get reset in this round.
Yeah, this is really rough for Envy. Obviously, crashes and food being those 2 with the rifles. They're going to be the ones that have to salvage the pistol and the stinger. And Immortals, they know that. And they realize that there were 2 rifles in that last round, so 2 players forced up. Now they're going to try and play around that. Slow and steady this time from Immortals. Envy, Trailblazer in, does buy a lot of info, and I think it even stunned jcstani in there, so crashies might look to retake. But the guiding light doesn't send it. he doesn't have all the info. And Immortals will be able to take back B main, but they're trying to start the mid caboose caught off guard. Dynamic duo of shot up and chemicals. They go hand in hand together. They will find too early on as crashies with just a frenzy. A phantom around the corner, but it is going to be so difficult to hold. There are so many angles and no utility to support them in the middle of B site.
Cover going out.
Indeed, there isn't. Immortals. They're looking to exploit that in a sense, although, again, it's very inadvertent. Again, nothing towards that site, but there's still a little something from crashies with that turret getting placed down right in the middle of the gap. It's a chance for crashies, actually, with the timing to get a couple. Mummay, here we go. 1v3 for the man. He has the op, he has the blade storm. If anything, this is a huge chance for him to get probably that sweet play of the day. Let's see if Immortals really crosses into his crosshairs. Still waiting out for a couple of players to walk on. But these post-plant positions from Immortals, they're not exactly looking to really let go of it. So, yeah, Mummay. If he had gotten that first pick at least, definitely he would have gone for it. But with time getting crunched off the clock and Immortals not really getting too aggressive, it's going to be Mummay with a really, really good save, considering how long-lasting his setup is really going to be.
Yeah, you talk about those post-plant positions. Shot up underneath heaven. I mean, everybody's watching an angle. Genghsta looking towards spawn. jcstani looking back towards me. I mean, they've got all their extremities covered. If one player goes down in the position that they're holding, for example, if Shot Up were to get taken down by Mummy in Heaven, those two players, jcstani and Genghsta, can instantly swing. So yeah, no chance there from Mummy, no matter what. But Envy, you never know. They always look deadly. And now with a half buy, essentially, they're going to force up a little bit around this operator, mainly just pistols. And they'll see what Mummy can do with it. Again, they have the Blade Storm. They've got a decent set of ultimates. The Seekers can come in very handy. The Neural Theft as well in getting info. And if you want to take the TP caboose, you can if you want to. Go ahead and stick it. But Immortals grouped up towards this side. Food is going to be in for a nasty, nasty surprise if he goes and peeks.
Or either that. It's very plentiful for him. It just looks so goofy. Food on top of his own wall, essentially just vibing. They do more or less speak him out. The boom bot doesn't catch anything, but again, a tricky position. It was almost literally a one and done, but he could have just tried his luck and oh my god. Shot up with a glorified Goomba stomp at the end there. So now Envy now with the 3 players remaining. They have ultis, but most likely they're going to carry them over into the next round. Not much to actually fight back with, and oh my. Chemicals and Genghsta still with 2 back in. Mummay, really the more important player to actually get the save up. He's got to run. Immortals, they're still trying to hound over towards that heaven side. Same thing in spawn. And no, Mummay's just going to stick around here. Still with 1 back. That's some exit potential, but there's jcstani. Massive now for Immortals. They've gotten that operator out of the hands of Envy. And depending on their economy in this next round, it's not going to get reinvested. Mummay really has to stretch for it, and indeed he will. With just about 400 credits for utility and 400 more credits really just for light armor, Mummay is going all in on this buy. Same thing with FNS and food. Envy, they're putting themselves in yet another one of those all-or-nothing situations where they just get reset off of this. This essentially gives Immortals that 12th round if they win.
Yeah, this is so tricky now for Envy. Early wall goes up, but food. He's going to play the contact. As soon as a shot is rung, that's when that wall will go up. But Immortals making moves. I think I missed TP from jcstani. He kind of started a little bit on the mini-map. Oh, Mummy! That's what you want, and there goes up the wall. So mid-control gained. If you're Immortals at least, it's such a risk to even try and continue to push forward. Food still lingering around, and Mummy's going to take his op elsewhere. He peeks down B main, and FNS playing just around the corner of ramp. It's good control here for Envy. So Immortals, how do you really play around this? Throughout this entire game, again, Immortals playing very good with that trade potential. Here they are again, sticking and grouping up together. Can they retake this mid position? You have Chemicals with his double blast back. That could be the X factor. We saw what he did on the defensive half. Can he do it here again? Because there's only 45 seconds left. And Immortals, they need to get a move on. And it looks like they're going towards the A side where 2 players wait.
It's going to be real tough for Envy, and not only that, but the Seekers, they're going completely over towards the other side, so that's a little bit of early information, but is it exactly optimal? We don't know just yet. Chemicals with a showstopper, not going to be able to catch anything. Instead, now FNS with a really good time to ramp push with a massive 2K. Now, Genghsta goes up on the wall, and we didn't even see the angle, but it doesn't matter. You can just tell that the frag was sick. Food would have fragged back, and Envy with a systematic win on A with actually a little bit of an early ulti. It really just came down to FNS and a whole lot of attention from Envy on the back lane. Immortals had no chance going forward, and now they have to readjust.
Yeah, huge play from Envy as well to kind of pivot around Mummay. Do they continue to do that here? I think that's going to be a key piece in kind of bringing this game back. Immortals, you mentioned that was the round. They win that. They reset Envy. They can get themselves to 12. Now, here's early smokes dropped by both sides. One back towards mail room, so they're going to try and isolate the player in elevator, and one drop by Envy to the top of B main to try and fake some presence. Immortals, they want this mid control. Trailblazer goes out for some information. Doesn't really spot much. You saw a shot up. Slow or a bit slow. Trailblazer down just a little bit. But on the flip side, Mummay holding in a very aggressive angle where he can easily get caught off guard. But thanks to these trips, I think FNS now backing him up. He should be safe and sound. A lot of info here for at least the side of Envy. They've got control towards A with the alarm bots. But how do they play around this? Because they've drawn 2 players here and shot up. He's trying to cause a ruckus, draw these rotations away. And as Envy drop a wall up towards the top of B main, they are buying so much time off of this clock. And Immortals, they don't really have much utility to back them up. This paranoia is going to have to come in so clutch into the back site.
The quick Empress Immortals, they emerge in food, actually. Right on top, gets a nice angle onto jcstani, but that eye's not gonna do anything. Instead, now crashies gonna be able to get one back, but still food there to help. Chemicals with a massive one, but still gets traded. Still now a 3-on-3 as Genghsta actually gets the revival, but nature. The timing on that flick is so massive for Immortals. They get the main advantage. He's trying to hold down Heaven. Now FNS gonna be able to get a whole lot of information off the Nero theft. Not only that now, but a counter revival potentially, but Genghsta shuts it down. I didn't even realize it. That's more than clutch from Genghsta, as now he only has to face on FNS. Low HP, and he gets it! Genghsta probably doesn't know it, but that just saved Immortals this entire game.
They needed that round. It took them a little bit. It took one extra round, but they get it through in the end. Now, Envy, how do they recuperate? Because they, again, are going all into this one. Does Mummay get the up? That's the question. He's been so pivotal. He was pivotal in that round where they ended up picking it up and keeping Immortals off of that potential 12. Do they get him back on it? They don't. It doesn't look like they have the credits to afford to. He's got a 6 adjust a Blade Storm. And now Envy, this is such a big hole they've got to now try and dig themselves out of. And they are going to try and play the aggressive game. They're stacked up right outside of B main, and players are going to try and get aggressive. There is a slow orb at least, so for all they know, there could be players waiting. It's going to get ugly here. Here comes a swing. jcstani not taking the peak full on, so Envy got control, but that is a huge paranoia in nature. Big with 2, jcstani with a 3rd, and that was the gamble they took in the price they paid.
Well, they got to go down ASAP over onto that B site. Still the rotation coming back quick, but no. Spike will be able to go down, no issues. But Mummay, he's been holding onto this Blade Storm for so long. And this is really the round where you could go massive. There you go. Genghsta playing around, getting a little bit cheeky with the beaks. And he gets them back. Now it's 2-on-3 with FNS here to help. Still in Heaven. No one actually able to peek him out. There's 2 behind that wall. 1 in the back of sight. Mummay, watch out. Probably going to go for an updraft or something of the sort. Still has a dash and everything to work with. He emerges with the right click. It was absolutely needed. FNS tries his hardest as his head is on a swivel, peeking out every angle possible. And now Immortals, with such an explosion in B main and a good hold of the B side post plants, they are now only 1 round away from beating Envy for the first time in this entire tournament.
What a story it would be. Envy, we talked about them being 12-0 in maps. 6 best of 3s, 12 maps for them, 0 lost against them. This is insane, Envy. 1 round away from dropping their first map in the VCT in Immortals. What a story it would be. We knew Split was going to be intense. We knew the potential that Immortals had, but this is unlike anything we could have expected. 4 rounds ahead and a lockdown to try and steal the deal. It's just Caboose in the back. He's been so good in this pivot position, and it's a theme flash that almost opened things up. Or apologies, I think it was the guiding light instead from crashies, but still Immortals recuperate. Shot up pushing the back line, has got 3, and that could be it for Envy.
It's yet another banger of a round from Shot Up. It's just consistent frags, isn't it? FNS, he's tried his hardest. Multiple rounds in this game where he's had multi-frags, but this one, it's such a tall task. It's almost improbable. It's almost impossible. FNS around the corner going to be able to take down jcstani, and Shut Up is there. 4 kills for Shut Up in the round. 13 rounds for Immortals. The once immortal Envy has been taken down by the Immortals. For the first time in this tournament, a map has been taken away.
What a huge, I wouldn't even call it an upset at this point. What a huge statement, though, from Immortals to take down